Hi folks, this is Steve Grizzetti, co-founder of MoviePix.com and author of the MoviePix.com Guide to CyberLink PowerDirector Ultimate. And here we are in CyberLink PowerDirector, and we're looking at a project I'm working on that is about, about 7 minutes long here? Yeah, just about 7.5 minutes long, but it is a fairly complicated project. I haven't got a lot of special effects, but I could ultimately. You see, I've got one layer here that's a mixture of some camcorder footage and some GoPro footage and some phone footage. I've also got a layer of narration. I'm mixing music tracks with my narration, so I've got some keyframing going on here to raise and lower the levels of the music in the background. I've even got some titles in here. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but this 7.5 minute project is only part of a longer project. My ultimate project is about 25 to 30 minutes long. Now, I could continue to build out on this timeline, but the more you add to a timeline and the more complication you have, the more layers and special effects, the more liability you have. In other words, there's more opportunities for something to go wrong. You can do it, but I would encourage you not to do it. I'd encourage you to work on any longer project in small pieces. That's what Hollywood movie editors do, right? They don't take a single timeline and edit a whole 2-hour movie on there with all these special effects and audio mixes and all of these other things going on. No, they're working on it in short segments, and then they do a final mix where they take each of those segments and combine them into the final feature. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So this is one segment of my larger movie, and I want to use it in my larger project. Fortunately, one of the features that CyberLink PowerDirector has, is a more advanced, more professional feature, is something called embedded timelines, or in PowerDirector, it's called using your project file as media. So I've got this project and I want to save it, and I'm saving it under the name Yearbook Part 3. Okay, notice I haven't outputted, I haven't produced this segment as an MP4 or as an M2T file. It's just here as a project file. Now I'm going to go to another project that is my final mixdown, where I'm combining the elements, combining the 4 different pieces of my longer movie into a single mixdown. So we'll go to that one. That is called my final project. Now on this timeline, what I've done is I've taken each of the segments of my movie. I did output them as MP4s, and now I'm combining them into a final mix. But I can skip that step if I'd like in PowerDirector because of one of the more advanced features it has. Say Part 3 here, I'm going to just delete Part 3 as an MP4. And if I go over here to the upper left and leave the media room and go here to the project room, I can see all the projects I've been editing. Any project I've saved shows up here, and I can use it as media. So watch this, pretty cool. I did not render Yearbook Part 3. Okay, this is a project file, a PDS file. I'm going to drag it down here to right in the place where that MP4 was, and we'll insert it and move all the clips. There we go. Now it looks a little bit different. Notice it says PDS at the beginning. Notice that you don't see the thumbnail running the whole way across, and you don't even see the audio waveform. However, otherwise, as far as the program is concerned, this is a media file. Okay, this is just as if I had output my media file, even though it's only a project file. That's pretty cool. But you notice here in the upper left of the timeline that I now have some tabs, and this tab here says Yearbook Final. That's the name of this project, the final mix here. But notice that any project file I add shows up as an additional tab. And if I need to, or I want to, I can click on that tab, and there is my project. It's still there in an editable form, and I can continue to tweak it and work on it, and then jump back here to the final mix where I use that project file as media. This is the way professionals work. They work on a large project in small pieces, and where they're able to, in more professional programs, they can use then the project file, not the rendered file, not the MP4, but the actual project file as media within a larger project. That's a cool feature, and well worth taking advantage of, especially if you're working on a longer project or a longer timeline in smaller pieces. Now, if you want to know more tips and tricks and workflows that can save you time and make the program work more efficiently, I hope you'll check out the many tips and tutorials we have at moviepix.com. And if you want to know every single thing there is to know about the program, how every tool works, check out my moviepix.com guide to CyberLink PowerDirector Ultimate. It's available at Amazon.com, and I wrote the book. My name is Steve Grizzetti, and I hope to see you again. So.